last year quietly changed every part of our life. Our YouTube channel, our family, the place we are trying to work on this mountain property, and our social life.
Today, Chrissy, no warnings, no teaching, no metrics. It's just Chrissy and I. We want to share our relationship, what happened last year that took us in a new direction, the big changes in our life, kind of recap it, tell our story, reintroduce ourselves, and talk about our plans, our travel plans, the plans for this mountain property, and how it's impacted our life. So many people, Chrissy, are interested in our mountain property build. And we'll talk a little bit about that. Some people had questions about the construction, the cinder block or the hollow block quality, what our plans were, what the costs were. We'll talk about our travel plans and the type of travel you can do around Southeast Asia. And Chrissy, we had a lot of changes at home.
Yes, it's been a while since we didn't really share everything about our personal lives, and we're so excited to open up a little bit about what's happening, what happened, and what's the plan for for this year, 2026.
Let's go back and start with 2025. We bought this property. It was about an acre. We had a half acre here with the house is right behind you, everybody.
Yeah.
Chrissy will show a little inset of the house.
I'm actually looking at it right now.
We're looking at the house right now.
I was realizing how big it is right now,
and
based on what we originally planned.
Well, we planned 300 square feet. We went to 700 square feet. Now we're building almost 1,500 square feet. And last time, Chrissy, we didn't show them what was already done. So we can show you a picture of the kitchen and the bedroom, and the CR is already completed. And we have finished, for the most part, the sunroom, but we haven't furnished it really.
Talking about 2025, there's a lot of achievements that we can share with them when it comes to our property, our relationship, and our big family as well.
Yeah, so we're going to talk some more about home life back in the suburbs of Cagayan de Oro. We live in CDO, north central Mindanao. Mindanao is the second largest island in the Philippines, and it has red zones, yellow zones, and green zones. We're actually in the yellow zone, but we interviewed a friend of ours earlier in 2025. He's lived here 18 years. He doesn't even lock his car. He's never had a bother.
Yes, and for those who haven't heard about CDO, it stands for Cagayan de Oro City. It's one of the very progressive city in Mindanao.
And we're here 45 minutes south. Now that we have a new vehicle, that we can get here in about 40 minutes actually. We used to have an acre. Now we only have a half acre. We don't own, our property goes down about 35 meters. If you see any color in those trees. We don't own down the ridge. There's a river down there about 100 meters behind us. Mimi's sister has an easement down to the river, and eventually they're building next door. That happened last year. We'll talk a little bit more about that too. But we sold your sister the other half acre behind their property. So they own next to us, and we're going to show that build going forward. But let's go back and talk about the biggest change that happened last year, because we bought this property.
And why we consider buying this property as a big change is that because previously, year 2023 and 2024, since we met, we kind of just working, put ourselves into the bedroom in our office the whole day. We are going out, but just to purchase groceries and all that, going to SNR or maybe eat somewhere out there. It's kind of just regular daily routine, right?
We're growing our YouTube business, raising Chrissy's son, who's now, he'll turn 7 in May. He's almost there. And so we purchased this property in January. And then we invited your mother and your stepfather. He had turned 62. He'd been a foreman for a large subdivision builder. And we asked them, how would you like to help us build this house in the mountains? You could live there. You could be the caretaker. We'd have to hire someone else to build it. And going forward, this is the type of property you have to have a caretaker. You can't just come back every 3 months. And we'd put them on sort of a pension. Not a lot of money in Western standards. And they said yes. And we said, okay, well, we want Precious to go to private school with our son. I didn't want to raise CJ as an only child.
By buying this property, it kind of have this domino effect. You purchase the property, you needed somebody to work on it, and then it's part of the package to take care of some other family members
Yeah.
along the way.
Well, and you know, we, as you know, we hire Chrissy's father and his wife or significant other. They've been together 10 years. They live with us, and they act as the driver back and forth to school, soccer practice. They clean the house. They do the laundry. They cook the meals. They do everything. And we would pay someone else to be a live-in nanny, and boy, a driver is so helpful too.
Yeah.
And so we pay them, the family members, almost exactly what we'd pay someone else. And Chrissy's always said she doesn't like the idea of leaving her child with a stranger.
Yes. So I think we got a lot of negative feedbacks from
For having a family member on the
for having
payroll.
a family
Yeah.
member on the payroll. But I see the bright side of that, which is it's a win-win situation. Like we kind of like help the family members, but then in return they do the service for us,
Yeah.
which we don't really treat them like they're workers. You know, we still treat them like a family, but in return we have to help them financially as they also do the service
we
for us.
pay them what we would pay anyone else. We have two people working for us, driver, laundress, cook, nanny, house cleaner.
Yeah.
We would have two people doing that work.
And along with that is the peace of mind, you know, because you could possibly paying someone else, but you will not gain the peace of mind that you wanted
have a family
for.
member.
Yeah.
So, but to be to the people, and we've had a lot of comments, you got to be crazy to have a family member on your payroll. It's very challenging, and it's been a little bit challenging. It takes a little finesse, and Chrissy hasn't managed people in a business setting before. She was a school teacher, certified school teacher, and managing family can be frustrating sometimes for Chrissy. And you know, we've always worked through the little bottlenecks. There occasionally are bottlenecks, and we've worked through them. Anyway, but on with the story.
Yeah.
We bought the property in January. We asked Momsy and Uncle James, hey, what if you come up here and build a house and live in it and be the caretaker, and James will have essentially a pension. He'll work on the property continuously, take care of it, build it. We asked him, we said, James, what is your skill in masonry? He said 10 on a scale of 1 to 10. Okay. How about framing? 10. How about plumbing? 10. Everything we asked him, he said 10. All right, so we'll see. And we kind of turned him loose up here. We don't have an architect. We don't have plans. Mimi's sister is meeting with an architect next week, and they are going to build out of block these bricks that our friend had built up in the mountains here, and you're going to see a much more polished, finished construction, and it's going to go up, boom. We didn't even know what we were doing. We just said we have a little extra cash flow, and if we can afford it, we have no clue. We never know how much consulting business we'll get. We don't know whether the book will stay #1 in Philippines Travel, Fly Me to the Philippines. We don't know if there's any revenue coming in from YouTube. You can't guarantee anything.
Yeah.
So we wait and see, and if there's a little extra spending money, we invest it up here in the mountains, and we turn James loose. And so far, we've been really, really happy with his skill set. You know, he hasn't put in the ceiling yet. He hasn't installed the hot water. The shower still hasn't been done, but he's heading off with the big stuff. He's doing the framing, the foundation work, the roof, and we have other plans we're going to tell you about. But we've been very, very happy. And they do things differently here. The hollow block looks horrible when it first goes up, but they do put 2 coats of a creamy, strong cement rendering on it, and then skim cone it.
Philippines.
It's the Philippines. And so we're very happy. We live in Cagayan de Oro. It's not prone to typhoons because the mountains, you can't see the mountains behind us, but they go up 7,000 feet. You can only see the first ridge, and then there's always cloud cover. In fact, it's going to rain soon, you can see. And but we're protected here quite a bit by mountains from the storms. Cagayan de Oro usually doesn't get hit by a typhoon. What can you say about Cagayan de Oro as a place to live?
As a place to live, if you are very impatient about the traffic, then I think you will be a little bit discouraged when you are living in the heart of the city. But if you're gonna choose the places around it, like Bukidnon, Balay-Balay, Valencia, Manolo Fortish, you could possibly live a life
very quiet, very inexpensive life too. When we come here, we turn away from the city. Very little traffic. Our only problem with traffic is there's a lot of slow-moving motorcycles and tricycles we have to pass. And now that we have the Raptor, well, that's not a problem. But no traffic coming here and going home, none really. And that's just so beautiful. And we're retired, sort of, so we can go out of the house when the private schools are not causing a problem and the traffic is a little easier to get around. So next, what happened last year? Your sister, she was 7 and a half. She moved in, and your mother and Uncle James actually moved in too. And your brother Dan Dan, age 19, moved in also. And, you know, it was going to be either have him live up here and help with the construction or send him to college. He was willing to go to college. He worked a little bit for the first 4 weeks in the summer. College here, his college, and he's a medical technician student, freshman. It's running us about 65,000 pesos a year, which is like
a year or semester?
A year, yeah. And it's about $1,000 a year to send a 19-year-old to college. Now, there's some other expenses. He eats like a horse. And, you know, he's a ghost, though. He barely makes an impression. He doesn't
feel him.
You don't feel him in the house. He comes home late. He leaves early. He's wearing his med tech uniform. He's got a girlfriend. And there's some supplies, some laboratory supplies and things like that. All in, we probably spend, you know, maybe $1,250 a year for his schooling.
Yeah.
And I feel that it's not a big expense, and I'm happy to take it on. And your sister, we send her to private school. What does that cost to send her to private school?
It's like 60,000 pesos per year, excluding the, you know, some miscellaneous. Yeah,
it's
all this stuff.
It's about $1,000 per child. So we have our son who's 6.5, almost 7, and your sister who just turned 8. Each of them, it's about $1,000 per year. If you add your brother in, it's like $3,250 per year.
Yeah.
There's some food expenses, there's some minor medical expenses, things like that. That's what it costs to someone. And so we have now, instead of an only child at home, CJ's aunt, your half sister, is only a year older than him, a year and 3 months older than him. And they are like twins. They look like twins. It's kind of fun to have a boy and a girl at home. But your parents, they love that daughter so much, they don't leave her with us the whole week. So she gets out of school Friday, gets out at noon, and they go down 45 minutes. They pick her up from private school, and they bring her up here to the mountain. And she spends Friday and Saturday in the mountains, and summer vacations and school breaks. And they come down and visit 1 or 2 nights a week even. They'll come down and spend the night with her. There's video chat now that we have internet. So they live with us. Everybody lived with us. It was a crowded house, and boy, did we have
and that's a big change in our life.
It was a big change. We had and your sister was living with us on and off as her boyfriend was traveling back and forth to America. She quit her job. So this is another huge thing that happened. We had a consulting client, and we introduced your sister to one of our consulting clients. And they hit it off, and he flew in to see her. And boy, they had a love affair, and they hit it off. She quit her job of 8 years in a frozen food factory.
Yes, and now we're neighbors in the subdivision we're living in.
They bought a house about 6 houses away from where we live in the subdivision, and they bought the land right next door. And we're going to gradually show you the home construction updates, not only of our property, but of the property next door too. So you're going to see a lot of property. This has been a big change. Chrissy has her sister now living just 6 blocks away. I've got what's now a good friend, like a brother-in-law, even though they're not married yet. And they have a house 6 houses away in the suburbs, and they have a house next door here in the mountains. And we have a common gate, and we're going to show you all that exciting construction. So that was a big change in the year.
Yeah, another family member that is added.
Yes.
Right. And technically, we're neighbors in both places, in Cagayan de Oro and here in Bukidnon Mountains.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of stuff that we could miss sharing with them, but we're just sharing them the major parts that change your life. And one of it is how we limit our socialization with other expats and other people.
Right. We kind of, when we first got here, we felt an overwhelming desire to integrate with other expats and other age gap couples. And it achieved a certain feeling of home, just like we felt like we had to go to Costco or SNR all the time and get foods that reminded us at home, or go to Western restaurants. I don't know why I needed that my first year. We sought out an expat group. We met some nice people, but we found that we weren't as compatible both the Filipinas and the
It's
expat
just
side.
like dating, you know.
It's like dating,
You're
yeah.
gonna try out to be with somebody, with some people, group of people, and then it will turn out that you don't really match, and you have the different perspective, and you can't force it to be, you know, you can't force it to get along with something that you're not comfortable really with.
We created a card group, and we participated weekly in a card group that Chrissy and I started the group, and we would play golf once or twice a week. And so gradually we've eased back. We don't play cards as often. We don't golf as often. We don't socialize with expats and their Filipino wives as often. We have certain special couples that we feel their relationships are very loving and they're non-transactional, and the couples kind of mirror our relationship. The expats don't talk politics. They're not super cheap, or they're not super braggadocious. The women don't drink. They don't go to hotels and leave their husbands at home. You know, they're just a better match for us, and we feel like the relationship is more loving among them, and those are the people we're hanging out with now, and that's been a bit of a change for us. We have more family with your sister, and we got a project. So not only do we have our YouTube, but we've got a project.
I would call it a change for the better, not
I think
really
so.
like a depressing change. Because what I've observed is that we became more productive, we became more focused on our
Right. We
relationship,
wrote
our
yes.
family, and there's just a lot of good thing that happened right
Yeah.
after that.
It was taking us away from our YouTube channel a little bit, all that socialization. And Chrissy began to play golf, and Chrissy's sister now plays golf, and we golf a lot when we do with them. We have more of a focus on our work. And last year was a big year for our channel. We've hit 46,000 subscribers. We published our second book, and we started giving it away. In fact, if you're interested, I have a new book, A Western Man's Guide to Dating in Asia and the Philippines. It focuses on online dating. It's got a review of the 12 different primary dating apps, rules of the road, do's and don'ts. After Chrissy and I have spoken to over 625 men, and we've learned their do's and don'ts and what's worked and what hasn't. Anyway, write to us at flymetothephilippines@gmail.com if you want a copy. Now, one of the other things that has changed, and now we're going to switch back a little bit, because of all those consultations and because we've learned so much, we started to make content that we were teaching a lot of the rules, and we got away from our little morning show routine like we're doing now, where people could kind of see how we interact as a couple. And we've done a little bit less travel videos, a little bit less where to retire, a little bit of less Philippine culture. We're going to pivot back our channel to do more of that. So you'll see Chrissy and I in action, and we're going to talk about our plans for the channel and for next year. But let's kind of finish up some of the major things that happened.
Yeah. One of the big changes that happened in 2025 is that the numbers of people that are reaching us, I find it like it's there's a lot more that we got to help, especially in vetting their Filipinas. There's a lot of people that I would proudly say have avoided a very bad crash landing in the Philippines because they've dated the wrong Filipina because of the investigation that I was doing. And also it started 2025 when I have to do almost 3 or 4 investigations in a week.
Well, you do
or
one.
Sometimes it will total 12 or 15
so
investigations a month.
just in terms of what went on with our YouTube channel, we started consulting. The first year we didn't consult at all, but after a year we started doing consulting. And we did offer a Big Brother, Little Sister Platinum package, and it included what we call the 20 to 30 minute shallow dive on social media. And we were getting counterfeit passports, and we were busting all kinds of not too honest women in these shallow dives. But about 4.5 months ago, Chrissy started to offer a full open source social media investigation. And essentially what changed in our lives is, well, Chrissy became very busy because it takes 4 to 6 hours to do these. And what we learned was we normally find the most revealing information in that 3rd to 4th hour or the 3rd day when she comes to look at it. Many of the shallow dives we had done previously, we would have missed what we found. And don't you agree? You usually find because you get so frustrated you have a breakthrough.
Yeah, I mean, you have to rest my mind, the brain before going back to it. And then when you start it again with a fresh mind, you can do a lot on social media investigations, actually. So, personally, in my personal experience, the changes that happened to me 2025 is this experience of talking to a lot of foreign men. I mean, before when you do the consultation and I waved in, I say hi, I said hello, they asked me a little questions, I answered. But talking to foreigner men and listening to their bad experience with Filipinas or even other Asian women, it gave me a lot of learnings. I learned about the Western man, their weaknesses, and how do they deal with women in the West, right? So that's a big change of me. I got a perspective change in some of of some of those situations. I was like, I thought it's like that, but it's not.
Right. So the other thing, once Chrissy had spoken to several dozen clients, and she now joins our platinum consulting clients, she started to script her own solo performances. And we had done a few here and there, one every other month, but now she's doing one a week, and she's delivered some amazing 5 Fantasies and Girlfriend for Hire and What's Wrong with a Good Filipina. So we changed our channel and we got a little bit away from this. And I used to do solos maybe once every other week, and we primarily did our kind of what we call our Regis and Kathy Lee morning show. And people used to write in and say, we really like to see you guys together. We like to see your chemistry. Go ahead and comment below if you're one of those people. And so we're going to do more of that, and then we'll be traveling coming up as well. What they really, really want is they want to believe that they can meet a young age gap that falls in love with you. They're coming to Asia, coming to the Philippines, Thailand, the Philippines. Is it possible? And of course, in the Philippines, you can meet a woman like Chrissy, who is from a smaller town and kind of was living in 1970s when I met her. And so it's possible. And we want to show you that we have a real relationship. Now, before we talk about our travel, let's talk about how having this property in the mountains has given us a new chapter in our life, a new method of kind of living our retirement. We have this outlet for the kids, and we have a way to have our own, more of our own private time. So tell everybody how it works.
Well, a life having an option where to go in a times that we're not doing anything. Because before, when we don't do anything, we kind of like spend money and go outside, go eat out. But right now, as we have this passion, we have this project. And the good thing about this is that right now we have already the electricity, the water, and the internet. So even if we come here, I could still do some work. Even
do
if,
your investigations.
yes,
Yeah.
even if we're here in the mountain. Unlike before that, it's just no signal at all. So all you have to do here is just sleep, rest, talk, or
But it gives us options. So a lot of times your father and his wife will take CJ and Precious and come up on Friday night, and we will have the suburban house all to ourselves. Oh, maybe your brother's in the basement, but we feel like a young couple again. We don't have any family around. We don't have to. We have someone who can take care of the children. So it's an outlet for the kids. It's an outlet for us. It's an outlet for your father. Yeah. So we're not all. So it just gave us so much more space.
Gives us excitement as well. All the
yes,
time.
a lot of
every
excitement.
Every time we come up here, we're so excited to see what's
the changes,
what's the improvement, and all of that,
of course,
and surprising receipts.
Then we had to stop and pay another 25,000 pesos for 10 days of supplies. So what else changed? Just yesterday, we have an Ascol, which is like a, what do you call, a wild dog? Just a, not wild, but
non-breed.
Just a non-breed dog. Yeah. They're all over the world. They're always about 25 pounds with curled tails. Well, this Ascol, the Kikai, the Ascol, adopted us. She was pregnant, it turned out, and 2 months later, boom, she had 3 puppies. And we spent about $425 getting everybody shots, rabies. We thought we could wait another 2 months to get the mother fixed. We knew we had to wait 7 months from birth to have the puppies fixed, but we had it wrong. And let's just say Kikai had two boyfriends that were getting down. Not one, but two boyfriends, and they got busy. We panicked because we don't want 18 dogs up here.
Yeah.
We raced the dogs 45 minutes into the city, and we had her spayed. She spent last night at the vet. It cost me 16,000 pesos, which is roughly 270 US dollars. Not ideal, and I still have to do the three puppies in April when we're done with our travel. We bought the property in January. We started work on it in April 15th, roughly.
Yeah.
We bought the bongo truck right around then.
Yeah.
And there are really rugged sections, 2 1-kilometer sections that are unpaved, plus our road, which is a disaster. The banging and the rattling, it just broke everything on the bongo truck. And you've kind of heard some of those stories we've told you.
Yeah. It's quite a journey with a bongo truck.
We paid about 4,000 US dollars, and we got about 4,000 US dollars in repairs at this point.
Yeah.
And I think if we sold it, we'd have trouble getting $4,000.
No, it's impossible. I mean, there's a lot of good things that the bongo truck has.
We've rebuilt
contributed.
everything. Everything's been rebuilt, everything. So we don't want to sell it because we fixed everything. But right now the water pump is leaking. It's in the shop. And what else broke on it? Oh, the brake light. The brake lights failed for the 3rd time.
Yeah, we say this all the time. Every time you're going to use the bongo, there's always something that needs to be repaired afterwards.
So we had a subscriber contact us, and we knew that he had bought a 2019 Ford Raptor about 6-8 months ago. He bought it, and they were asking 1.2 million. It had 35,000 miles on it, but when he bought it, about 32,000 miles. He paid 1,050,000 pesos. So he got 150,000
pesos. 1,050,000.
1,050,000 pesos he paid. He went back to America for 2 months during the 6 months he owned it, and he made a decision for personal reasons, to move back, and he's going to K1 his fiance back to America. And he called me up and said, "Rob, do you want to buy the Raptor?" And he offered me a price that made my head spin. It was so attractive. But I wasn't sitting on a lot of cash, and I told him I'd give him more than he asked if he let me pay 1/12 every month for 1 year. And he said yes. And when we test drove the car, we were gaga over the low mileage and the quality of the Raptor. And we took possession of it December 15th. And we can come up here and, come on guys, we can come up here, stop hogging the camera. So we can come up here and we can just hit those bumpy roads. This Raptor has these racing it's like made for Baja, California, if you're not familiar with it. It's a bi-turbo, it is awesome. And we got a phenomenal deal. We want to thank Michael. And it has just changed our lives and boy, when you can drive up here and the bad roads, the quality of the brakes, the quality of the suspension, out of here, guys. It has just changed our life. And let's go for a drive. Let's go anywhere. It's quiet in the car. The bad roads, it doesn't matter the quality of the roads. It just glides along the road. That has been, for the last 60 days, we have had, we gave them 100,000 down. We've been paying 50,000 pesos. And it is just a steal of a deal. And we are so happy with it. It's crazy. And so that was a big, big change for us.
It was really big change.
And the other big change was we paid 145,000 pesos to buy all the glass and finish the sunroom. We kind of decided, we had originally a small house. This was going to be a guardhouse. Supposedly. And then a storage room. And then, we'll make a small home without a kitchen. Then we decided to have the kitchen be an inside kitchen. And then we decided, let's have a nice sunroom and just have some screens. And then we decided, let's have some windows. And then I decided, screw it. Let's make a sunroom. We are so happy with that room. And then we decided, what the heck, let's build another 750 square feet of house. So we are building the dirty kitchen, a really large bedroom ensuite with a big bathroom. And then we're gonna build right where the concrete patio, and I'll show you, right where we poured concrete yesterday, and we're building this amazing driveway that'll be between the two houses, but it created a a retaining wall created a nice wall that we can use, and we're going to build about an 18 by 18 deck with a barbecue over there. And we plan to have a storage room further down. The road's going to be expanded. It's going to be an amazing year. We're going to do some traveling, and we don't want to tell you when we're going, and we don't want to tell you exactly where we're going.
That's going to be on the next video.
We went to BGC 2 weeks ago. Now, I'm always a big Makati lover, and I always tell people, well, no, don't go to Cebu City, right to IT Park. Why not spend 3 nights in Makati? It's like the Beverly Hills of the Philippines. Yeah. We have a condo we're always recommending to people. We've probably put 30 or 40 clients in that condo. They love it. And you can be close to Legazpi Street, the Greenbelt malls. You can walk everywhere. I like it. It's full of foreigners and Louis Vuitton stores and Prada stores and malls and shopping, and everything's there. And we've been to BGC 3 times before, and I'm not that crazy about BGC until this trip. And Chrissy, let's show them a little bit of what Uptown. The Uptown area, it's really in Taguig, but it's not near the Venice Mall, Venetian or Venice Mall, and the McKinley Towers. So we've always stayed in the McKinley area, which is about 5 blocks up the hill from the mall with the Venice waterway with the gondolas. And to me, it just felt like, there's not, there's specialty restaurants, specialty supermarkets. You're paying through the nose. There's no good walking. Boy, oh boy, this part of BGC, we stayed in a 50-tower there's 2 adjacent 50-tower condo buildings, and there's a Landers in the basement, which is like a Costco, S&R. And it was a 10-minute walk to St. Luke's. We had a friend that was in St. Luke's we went to go see. We have friends in Manila, and we met them for dinner, and we went to High Street in BGC. And if you're not familiar with Manila, it's really weird. This is the only part of Manila I've ever been in that looks like a big city. It could look like Ho Chi Minh City, could look like Bangkok. Beautiful sidewalks, wide avenues, traffic lights. The traffic was very light. Great restaurants, shopping. There was a mall across the street. There was essentially a Costco in the basement of the building. There was a Din Tai, what's that?
Din Tai Fung.
Din Tai Fung, one of the best, phenomenal, famous for their Shanghai dumplings, one of the best Chinese restaurants on the planet. There, and then it was a 10-minute walk to High Street where all the restaurants and the streets are all lit up. And I really, really like that part of BGC. We're going to go to 5 Asian countries.
Yes.
We're going to take, Chrissy's we were in Vietnam in January last year, but Chrissy's going to visit South Korea. She's going to visit China. She's going to go
China?
a version of China. Okay. Yeah. And you're going to go to Malaysia. You're going to go to Singapore. And you're going to go to Thailand. And we're not going to tell people yet when or where, but we're going to take you along, and we'll do some travel videos. We're going to show some food. Sometimes the Filipinos don't believe us when we say some other countries got good food.
Well, to taste is to believe.
Well, you loved it in Vietnam.
Oh, I love it in Vietnam. Yeah, so there will be more updates on 2026, and hopefully in our construction update. Actually, I'm very...
Wait, something else happened last year.
What happened last year?
Our 1-year wedding anniversary in October.
Oh, I thought we got married again. Yeah, we celebrated our first wedding anniversary.
Yes.
And good for us. Congratulations. We reached this
milestone.
The milestone.
And it's amazing because we work together. And I'm the director and you're the editor.
Yeah, I feel like we've been together for 10 years.
It's already like dog years when we're making one. But you know what's really changed is that Chrissy has edited 300 videos. We have like 6.5 million views already.
Overall?
Yeah, 6.5 plus, and we've put up 300 videos. Chrissy's edited so many of the videos. I don't have to sit in the director chair very much. I kind of come in.
That's a big change.
I come in for a final review now.
It's a change for a better.
Oh, one big question everybody asked: how much is this house we're building going to cost? We should show them what it looks like from like right here. I think we'll have about $30,000 US into the house, not including the furniture.
And the property?
The property was very inexpensive.
Yeah,
we're up here in the mountains, and we're not going to reveal that. And there's really no land next door or nearby for sale. But the actual construction, and we started with it was about $1,800 to do the driveway. the gate, the driveway when we first moved in.
The water, the electricity.
We had to do the water for 45,000, the electricity for about 70,000 pesos. The roof, we probably have $5,000 into the roof so far. You know, the labor and all the hollow block and all the foundation work's going to come to, 10,000 for that probably over time. You know, the glass, the fixtures and all that, the tile work and stuff. So we're hoping it'll be, and that's why when people say, oh, the hollow blocks of work is not like how we do it in America. Okay, I understand.
And there's one big question.
Yes.
Like a lot of viewers were asking, I thought foreigners cannot own the land here. Why are you building a house for your Philippines?
Yeah, so
I kind of like want to defend myself with that, but I just like, okay, I don't really care.
And look, you're always watching that Rafi Tolfo show, and every week there's another foreigner who got ripped off. Where there was one Chrissy was watching where the foreigner met a woman. She has like 12 houses. He was like the 12th guy to buy her a house that she left. She got 12. I can't even have that many fingers. 12, Chrissy.
12 foreigners that providing real estates to the woman.
So, but I did this video 2 months ago, Chrissy. It's kind of an important video. It's a little bit dry. Here in the Philippines, you can title the land and the property on the land with 2 separate titles. And you can notate on the land title that the foreign husband or the foreigner boyfriend is the owner of the house on the land, and that the house cannot be sold without the signature of the husband.
But there's still a big question regardless of what you said, because a lot of people will still
They're always saying it's crazy. Well, it is. I mean,
why
look,
are you building the house?
Well, I'm only spending $30,000. And to be honest with you, Chrissy, half the money is yours. Because Chrissy is doing these open source investigations. She's doing one every other day, and sometimes 20 a month. And every single time at the end of the appointment, the men thank Chrissy. I have not seen one appointment yet where the man didn't say, thank you, Chrissy. I really appreciate what you did for me. It's amazing how she, and you know, if the woman passes, because about 45%, 50% of the women get a clean sheet, it gives the man such an overwhelming sense of confidence that he can go forward. And if he finds out something like she's married to somebody or has kids or he's a lady boy, he's really happy to find that out, that he's been deceived. So that generates an income, and Chrissy is using that money on the construction here for the property and helping pay for everything.
But I would always say, even if your Filipina is not working or she's working, as a partner or as a wife, you should always treat her an equal.
Yeah, like a co-pilot. So Chrissy, in addition to your investigations, we're doing Big Brother and Little Sister consultations, travel planning, retirement planning, helping with all kinds of expat questions. And our book is still in the top 10 #1 bestseller list. 10 months now. You can find that on Amazon. Fly Me to the Philippines.
And of course, if you're dating a Filipina and you think you're unsure about her background, I can do the background check for you. Or even if you are so sure and everything is so good to be true, well, it's all right to check her. Things that I can assure is that this is a moral, clean, and we do not violate any privacy of the person.
Or confidentiality.
Yes.
Till next time.
Only here from Fly Me to the Philippines.